And much like Stan, I too never found turtles at any of my Walmarts. Also, I'm pretty sure, Mr. Ryan Clark, the Donatello as Beetlejuice one was a custom. It's like you could pop off Donatello's head and it had a smaller head underneath. I think that was one of those that came out as like a custom early on, like in the early days of the internet, if I remember correctly.
This is like a small head Donatello?
If I'm thinking of the same one, and please correct me if I'm wrong. I know you guys will. Basically, it looked like Beetlejuice, but it was Donatello's head. And, so it was a turtle. I think it ended up being made by the same dude that did the slasher series, where I think it was like Leo as Leatherface and Raph as Freddy Krueger and stuff like that. And it came out as it was put together and put in, I think it was one of those, why can't I think of the name of the forum? AFI, actually, Insider.
Technodrome? There was Technodrome?
No, this was before that even. Okay. Early custom forums, and it was up there, and it was like an entry into a custom contest, so they made it look like traditional marketing and everything, so it was super cool. I think that's what I'm thinking of. I'm guessing, Mr. Geeky, this might be your little Geeky.
What would make you think that?
There was an early.
Are you saying other people can't think that of me? That's
There you go, Mitch Falcon. No, but it's those things of I will be super curious to see where they can go from. There we go. Ooh. Hi, Dad.
Hey, little Geeky.
Hey, nothing wrong with it. I'm glad that he's along for the ride.
Oh yeah, it means he's watching. Hey, dude.
Yeah. So the funny thing is, this kind of gets back to what we were talking about before. I put together a slideshow, if you will, of the kind of turtle news of what we haven't done, and this is definitely one that we haven't talked about, but I am very excited about.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. You got Chrome Dome. Also, I love this computer. I'm on a vendor of vintage computers right now because I just got that Jurassic Park Amber Collection Sam Jackson, and
this is perfect. Maybe not perfect, but it's. Oh, does he come with the computer too?
He comes with a computer.
Oh, I thought you needed to buy an extra one of these just for the computer.
No. I did a little tweak to that, and now that's my movie universe Baxter Stockman.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I like it. A superpowered PowerPoint, if you will. Yes, but Chrome Dome, looking mighty. He's 10 inches tall, which is insane. I'm stoked for this figure.
When I saw it in scale, that's when I just lost it.
That picture right there really does it. Him standing next to Shredder, and
I know Shredder's back a little bit, so it's a little forced perspective, but holy crap. Also, I want them to release this diorama.
They are known for this backdrop. I have to think that they have some sort of plans for some sort of tech. I'm not expecting a giant Technodrome, but something that has that we can use as a Technodrome back piece.
Yeah, I gotta imagine it's going to be coming. Mm-hmm. Oh, fun fact, he's the biggest NECA TMNT fig, which makes it bigger than Krang. Because it
definitely looks bigger.
Well, that's the thing is in scale with the Night of the Rogues, right? Yeah. So that's what I think I'm most excited for is
because he popped up a couple times and he was different sizes, but I like that they went with a big old chonky Chrome Dome.
Shelf space is going to be interesting on this guy. I don't know how many each store is going to get, just because of how big the packaging on this guy has to be.
Mitch Falcon, drop the link below.
This is awesome.
Who needs extra advertising? You got
your hype kid in there.
Hustling, love that.
Woo! All right, you can have extra ice cream tonight, kiddo.
There you go. Do we have any hope that Super 7 release a Crank? They gotta. I imagine that's going to be along the lines of Monstar from the Silverhawks line, is my guess. But
hopefully they just do it I don't want to say a 2-pack, but they do the Krang body, full sized, full scale, but then also include the walker, the high chair thing. You know what I'm talking about? The single release figure accessory piece. Include that in there and then make it the high Monstar price.
Oh yeah.
Or I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they couldn't do it because it didn't come with the original, but having the wings too might be.
I'm putting it out there. If it included the normal amount of Super 7 accessories with that big a figure, it would be worth it. That would be insane because that they would pack it to the gills and it would be a giant figure. Moving on from Chrome Dome, we have our 2-pack.
Hottest selling item of 2021.
You're damn right.
I'm really excited for these. I will also be super excited for when they
Kung Fu Rats.
I do love this set. I can't wait to get this. I don't know how I'm going to display it yet as far as where it's going to go because my display doesn't really facilitate a flashback, if you will. I'm going to have to figure that out, but that is something I'm definitely willing to overlook to get this thing in my hands.
I think legit, I'm going to put it on the interior of like my diorama, and I'm going to light it in there, so it's something you can see through.
Yeah, it'll look like a flashback. That's cool.
Yeah, there's the in package. Like, I'm hella stoked. Again, the funny thing is, the accessories alone, even if you're not a Turtles guy or girl or anything in between, you have really cool human figures that you can do stuff with now.
This thing with especially with the 4 turtles in the dead center on the bottom, this looks like a fig swap.
It does. It does. I'm still excited for it. Ooh, a custom Tang Shin to go with. That would be fantastic. Moving on, we have these lovely curiosities who, again, if they come out and they're readily available, I'm all for it. Like, but it being a Walmart exclusive, like this line as it is, I just saw the first figure from it in my area, and it was a Buffy, and I think that's wave 3.
Oh, wow.
So
done in the same style?
Yep, I think they're all 5-inch scale. So they have like Napoleon Dynamite, Buffy, like they're doing Big Trouble in Little China. They're doing like figures from across the board. AC/DC, I believe they did a Gene Simmons. They're just throwing everything out in this line, but they're all 5 inches. So no scaling. They're all 5 inches no matter what.
I don't know. It's fun that they're affordable, but it's at the same time I'm one of those where I'm like, I would like it in the proper scale, like a Beetlejuice. That said, I'm getting that Beetlejuice if I can find that Beetlejuice.
Yeah, I agree. The most excited thing is that from this whole podcast has been
they're doing Lydia as well.
Yeah, oh, there you go. You need Lydia.
All right,
that's perfect.
Mitch Falcon dropping that sweet link in the comments. Thank you very much. Nice. My girlfriend asked, could you please talk about Sailor Moon? It's a fantastic series, and we don't have any fancy pictures in the slideshow. I apologize, but yeah, it's awesome. And finally, we have something. Dan and I talked about this briefly. Well, okay, I threw these in there because I just wanted to show them off. That there we go. There's the Playmates releases, which look very much in line with these. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah,
but finally,
are the Playmates scale wise though? Is that it's not going to be in the classics?
They're like 7-inch scale. Like they're re-releases of the classics.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So it's just
they're big.
I have all those. I care more about the Shredder and the Triceraton that they're teasing at this point.
If they come out, I love me Sailor Moon, especially the Starlight. And then finally, NECA actually commented on this. This was proven to be a custom, but how amazing would this set be? Release them in their original plastic colors, reuse a little bit of that vintagey box art, and just give us a 4-pack of the Turtles. Right. You can use the same tooling, new deco. I gotta say that I would be on this like Donkey Kong.
Did you ever think that this was real when you saw it?
I did, actually, because I saw it pop up first on, I believe it was the Technodrome forums. And it was just someone that said, anybody have any idea about this?
What is
And I was like, that's a hell of a mock-up. The thing that got me is the design of the box, is the way that the actual full graphic looked. It looked very mocked up because they're not big into like the really intricate die cuts like Donnie there.
Okay. Yeah.
As a graphic designer and like someone who's designed packaging for toys and stuff in the past, I was going, this is cool, but it seems out of their realm. Like Mikey, for instance, would have been bumped over about a 1/4 inch where you wouldn't have had that additional die cut right there.
On the upper right. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. But again, like that did not stop me from going, holy shit.
A great idea, custom or not, yeah.
Dibs, that paint deco on the NECA figs.
Love it.
I'm down.
I honestly think if they didn't include the Rocksteady in the background, that we've already gotten that Rocksteady accessory, right?
Right. Yep.
To me, that's the tip-off. Like, you're reusing old accessories from the other sets to make this look legitimate.
It's stuff like, you have Raph's pizza slice with the hole in it.
I didn't see the hole, yeah.
You have Donnie's staff, but the staff isn't painted.
That's true. Okay.
Like, there's a lot of these that are reused, but the other thing
my heart doesn't let me see these details. My heart is just like, please let this be real. Please let this be real.
Well, and the fact that it comes with 2 pizzas, it comes with, like
it almost says too much. Yeah.
I feel bad saying it, but it was legit me going, this is too good to be true.
There you go. Right.
Like they have so much that they're throwing in there. And not to say that NECA doesn't give us amazing stuff and like bountiful accessories. I have a jug over there that's filled with bits and bobs from figures. This was one that I like when I saw it, I was like, oh, and then immediately was like, it's like You got me.
Yeah, that was a tip out for me too. I looked. I don't know if you could see me like scooting forward in my chair here. I was like looking closely. And I was like, that Rocksteady behind. That was. I was like, I know I've seen that before. So it's well done. And yeah, I would 100%. I would buy that very quickly if that was a real thing.
Great shot. Put something good out there too. Batman v TMNT had 2 pizza slices and a ton of accessories. These are just the hands from those 4 turtles. I'm just throwing that out there. I want to see what Hasbro is going to do because Hasbro is giving us Mighty Morphin Power Ranger turtle crossover figures coming out soon. And this is big because you have the Lightning collection. This is going to be their first shot at turtles. And I'm a big Marvel Legends fan. Seeing the possibilities and seeing the Lightning collection, seeing those figures and seeing what articulation and love go into those, I'm super curious. So I just wanted to point that out. San Diego Comic-Con exclusives have been something of legend these last couple years. They've put out some astonishing things, some not easy to get, easier to get, but they've also put out some nightmare of things to get, like the coming out of their Shells Tour pack. I was going to call them the Mighty Mutagen Tour or whatever it was called. The Singin' Turtles. I see your Spittin' Turtles. I go for the Singin' Turtles. But what do you guys think that'll be this year? Usually we get a 4-pack.
Yeah.
And sometimes a single release. So like, we might get, a single or like a double or like a 2-pack, I guess, since that's kind of NECA's vibe of here's a 2-pack, here's a 4-pack. How about this? We'll do this. What is most probable? And then what is your dream pick?
Yeah. Okay. So here's the
one, SpeekyGeeky.
No. Well, okay, but here's the thing.
4-pack, 1 2-pack. How about that?
Here's the caveat to that. Because there's the tease with the Channel 6 thing that came out not that long ago. The question is that going to tie into the San Diego Comic-Con? If it does, then I have a thought on that. If it's not its own like 2-pack kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
If not, then I have a feeling of what it theoretically might be. So can I? Okay, if the can I do the caveat?
You get your speculative one.
Okay.
Of each, and then you get your pick.
All right. So my speculative one is not connected to the Channel 6 one, right?
Yeah, right.
That is, I think it's theoretically the Neutrinos, Dask, Zach, Kala in the Hot Rod, along with King Zenter and potentially a smaller Princess Tribble.
I think swinging for the fences. That'd be be huge.
That would be enormous. But the reason I think that might be the case is because they'd be smaller scale figures. And when we saw Kerma released with Mondo, it was like as an oversized, right? In that same idea, really the bigger price point there might be that you're getting the Hot Rod, and they're also going to be incredibly articulated, obviously, but they're all smaller in stature. So it might be easier to that be a sell as a exclusive than if they were to try to put 2 small figures as a 2-pack.
They could be more slug figures, like kind of like Kerma isn't going to have a ton of articulation. The idea of them being smaller figures is definitely a solid point. You can get more bang for your buck.
Yeah. Well, okay. So that's the speculative. The other one tied into the Channel 6 piece, I think if that was the case, whatever it's going to be is going to be a 4-pack. So if that was where they put that, I think it would be where they all turn into different bugs, with the caveat to that being that I think it would be Cat, Mutant, April, right? Yeah. So it would be you'd have Burn in there, and you'd be able to swap in that he's the Fly Burn, and you'd have Spider Vernon, and you'd have Moth Irma, because Irma we already know is coming. Irma we got the tease, so that would be a fun set. I could also see it being like that they don't include another Vernon, and that they put in a camera person, because there were other people that were part of the set of that would make sense for an exclusive, because you could have the background diorama of Channel 6 as part of that too.
Gail Benning brings up a good point. It was mentioned at one point that it would be the biggest yet, but I don't know if that was talking about quantity or the biggest as far as most detail. There's so many ways you can spin that.
Well, and the accessories they were saying there's going to be small and big accessories with it too. So
Panther 10 in the chat actually has my pick, the Secret of the Ooze turtle set with a subway car layer diorama, because you could do the 4 turtles and a Splinter, and it would be essentially new heads on the old bodies, a new head on Splinter, and then you just make the pack a really nice pack of, the subway. It would be an easy out, which I hate to say, but I could see them doing, because it's the cheapest route because of the tooling involved with it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, they've gone big. Like the coming out of their shells tour turtles, like there's like outside, I think hands. I think everything is new tool for it. So
I believe that's right. Yeah.
I guess a question I'd have too, and I no answer on this because I want to hear the other thoughts on this. But just as the other reveals, in addition to not what the exclusive is, but what might be revealed figure wise for Comic-Con. Typically, there's a handful of those as well around that time period. So, all right. So, okay, you go.
Yeah, let me get my guesses here.
Yeah.
So I do have a hard time believing that it's going to be another turtle set, only because
Sam's teasing all of us right now.
Yes, please.
Ooh.
I'm not gun.
That was not my guess, but that's a good one. Cowlick specifically.
Goodly.
They just released the disguise set.
Yep.
Right? If they wanted to do a 4-pack of turtles that was special and make it be something that wasn't going to appeal to the mass market and might be a harder sell, why not spread that out? Why not release the regular turtles at retail? Again, just better articulated like the disguised turtles are, and then save the disguises for Comic-Con. Instead, they packed it all together, right? I don't think they had to do that. I don't think anybody was buying the set specifically for the trench coats. So because of that, I don't think that the Comic-Con exclusive is going to be turtles at all. I don't have a decent guess what it could be. My hope is that it would be the turtle van. I would love, I mean, that would be big. That'd be something that you couldn't do, theoretically, you couldn't do shelf space on because it would be so big, and it would have to be some sort of online thing. I'm hoping for a turtle van. I don't have room for a turtle van, and honestly, the more I think about it, I kind of hope it's not a turtle van, but if it is a turtle van, I couldn't resist it.
Dude, I legit, I started working on a custom, like, cartoon accurate turtle van, and I was like, this is going to be awesome. And I started work on it, and I stopped, like, literally about a week ago, and I was like, I'm putting a lot of time into this. They've already said they have it ready to go. They've teased that this is going to be a big exclusive, and I'm just like, God damn it. Like, a Super 7 party wagon would be nuts as well. I agree, but price point wise,
any 2-scale party wagon is going to be insane. It's going to be up there with the Thunder Tank.
Oh, I mean, that's the thing is either way you go with it, it's going to be that would be an absolutely massive exclusive, and it would be awesome. Do not get me wrong. I would be on that thing like a fat kid on a cupcake. But I kind of agree though. Like I'd be really, really hopeful that they go kind of off card. You know, like they go for something bonkers.
That'd be great.
You know, like
Out of the Shells tour was bonkers. It was a crazy call.
Dude, that was one of those that legit my buddy was just like, hey, they said that they're going to do a Turtles exclusive again. What do you think it's going to be? They said it's going to be something no one would ever expect. And I said, dude, if it's fucking coming out of their shells, I would, pardon the phraseology, and sorry, mini Geek-E, if you're in the chat, I would cream my jeans because I loved that so much as a little kid, and I never thought in a million years that we would get legit coming out of their shells tours figures. And later that day they unveiled it, and I got a call from my friend. He said, hey man, are you driving? And I said, yeah. I said, yeah, why? He's like, can you pull over? And I'm like, oh my God. Like, what happened? Like, I'm thinking something bad happened.
Yeah, who's injured?
And I legit, I pulled off at a gas station. He's like, check your phone. And I checked my phone. He shot me all the images. I was like, "Wah!" Like I freaked out.
That was a great day.
Another idea: Krang's android body in the giant form. That'd be insane. And Gail, yes, I have them, and I customized them. Actually, I made proper decals for the back of the coming out of their shells tour set. Is Super 7 doing another Comic-Con? I'm sure they will, but they've been doing like reaction figures and stuff for the exclusives. But they did do the Bug Zapper Baxter, so it could be a redeco. Yeah. And I also wanted that set. Never saw it at Target. I was very lucky that one of my friends found it.
Did they do a glow in the dark Muckman yet? Is that
Muckman? No, they're doing a glow in the dark Mutagen Man that's coming out.
Oh, that'd be fun
for Super 7.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Another easy would be a chromed out Chrome Dome. That's true. But redecos are definitely something that they could just go hog with. And Mitch Falcon, thank you.
Of course,
Glow in the Dark Mutagen Man still up for order. It'll be all 4 frogs. You shut your mouth, Stan.
Who do we think are going to be the other reveals? Not that are going to be the exclusives, but are going to be shown.
I think we'll get Irma.
Yeah.
I think Irma for sure will get revealed. I was kind of racking my brain about who popped up. I think they gotta go Usagi. I think Usagi will see a reveal in both NECA and Super 7 at San Diego because it's an anniversary. The Netflix show show is coming out, it's the perfect time for them just to go, "Bruh," because all of a sudden, Stan's sweet, sweet samurai rabbit is up there for all.
I agree that it should be. I just don't know if because of the Netflix, if it's tied up in licensing, were they not able to do it now? But I want that answer to be correct.
Yeah,
that's one of the ones I'm like, oh, we need that soon.
Dan in the chat, Secret of the Ooze Turtles, I think are definitely up there. Keno, I think we'll see a Keno at San Diego. And honestly, you know what? I didn't even think about it. That could be a really easy San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, is Keno with his scooter.
Yeah, there you go. Absolutely. They made a big deal about Danny. They might make a big deal about Keno.
Brian Flynn said they can't because of the show yet.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that they're not. Doesn't mean there's not one that's created. They just can't put it out there yet. Maybe.
Yeah. Or Wingnut or Screw Loose would be also pretty cool.
Yes. Tempestra, I feel like is going to be another one that makes sense.
One that I want that I don't think they'll do this year is, we've talked about this before.
I know Turtle Soup San Diego Comic-Con pack would be a way to get a new Usagi out.
There you go. But this one I don't think they'll do because it would overshadow the current releases. But a Page Turco,
April.
Yeah, but I think it would overshadow the. Yeah, I think that'll be next year.
Yeah,
if not after that. But I don't think they can do it this year.
Is it weird that I have a strange suspicion that we're gonna get an April and Casey 2-pack with the unmasked head? I think that could be a con exclusive as the 2-pack because they already have the tooling. It would be a way to release it early to get into people's hands, and it could be one of those things of, for a movie 2-pack, it would be one that's not necessary because you have a Casey, you have an April that's already available to the public. This would be just variants on them.
Can you imagine how angry people would be if that 2-pack included the yellow raincoat?
The yellow trench coat. Yeah. Ooh, Rex 1, Mac, and Fugitoid. Just a Robots 3-pack? I like that.
I mean, but Fugitoid can't be for Fred Wolf, though. Would it be...
I see that. I think Fugitoid would be Super 7, as far as them showing off one. I'm guessing Mitch Falcon is all for the robots.
Yeah, that would be a dream to see those. But I mean, like that's the thing with Fugitoid. I wonder if that is more of a loophole character because Fugitoid was around before with Mirage and was, so they could theoretically do that character.
Oh, yeah. NECA Vanilla Ice or TT. Dude, I'd be all for it. Burn an Irma 2-pack. That would piss people off, Dave. Oh, I'm well aware. That's never stopped him before. I'm just putting it out there. But then Professor Perry and Page Turco April would be an amazing 2-pack. I'll put it out there, though, too. An easy 2-pack that would blow people's minds would be a Secret of the Ooze Shredder from the beginning in the purple onesie with the saw blade helmet with Tatsu, because
it would blow people's mind because he's off the table as far as what they've said.
But that's the thing.
Could be a fake.
From what they've said, it's that thing of what would blow people away, though. The figure that they've said, no,
it's impossible.
Can't get it. It's impossible. You know what I mean? It's that thing of you want a 1-2 punch. You're basically reusing a tool for Shredder with the new helmet that they've already teased that helmet with the saw blade.
It is a risky move, though, saying that something is impossible and then delivering it. Like let's say it wouldn't be the exact same thing, but let's say that custom 4-pack that we talked about a half hour ago. Let's say that's really the Comic-Con exclusive that they said was a fake. I think people would be let down if that was the release because they got their hopes up. Then you're telling them it's fake. Okay, maybe I don't need it. And now, okay, it is real. Now you get their hopes back up again. I don't think people like to be played with like that.
At the same time, though, like, could you imagine the outpouring of people buying it, though?
Sure, absolutely.
Because Tatsu has been brought up time and time and time.
Tatsu, absolutely. Yeah, especially because they haven't gone to the lengths of that custom that was shown.
Yeah,
I totally agree. The Tetsuo I don't think is the same story.
Yeah, but and Shredder, they've already teased the helmet.
Yep.
So it's like, okay. At the same time, they could do something like the 4 Turtles and the Purple Shredder. They could do stuff like that super easy. It's the thing of, like, it's trying to think of the tooling, and the thing is now with the Oroku Saki and Hamato Yoshi 2-pack, we also have a lot of the tooling for Tatsu.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
You know what I mean? It's reusing a lot of puzzle pieces to create something. Just thinking of what would be the weirdest 2-pack. Belly Bomb and the Shredder Krang hybrid from the Arctic comic.
Oh,
yes.
That
Nightmare Fuel, Sam. Appreciate that.
I want it. I want that Nightmare Fuel. I want that on my shelf now.
I'm all for it. I mean, the cool thing is, like, this is such a golden age of toys. As Turtle fans, as Shellheads, we have so good right now. Again, if there was a mass retail line out there like the 2012 Turtles were, if that was the other like thing out there right now, perfect. Like happy days, you know.
Even though it was so saturated, like there was so much out there with the 2012. There's still so many characters I felt like I didn't get, and I really wanted, you know, from that line. That was just
my biggest qualm with that line is the fact of the scaling, and I'm working on custom. Some people have seen it, but it's a turtle custom, so I can show it off here. As I'm making a scaled dog pound.
Yeah.
So. Chonky boy. There's a lot more sculpting that still needs to be done. I'm also working on a scaled up T-Pod Baxter. This looks really weird right now, but there's a lot more work to be done. I'm still in the very early stages, but eventually that'll fit in there, and then I'll redo the arms. It'll be nuts once it's done. So
very cool.
I'm excited to see that progress. That's a fun one.
There is so much dremeling that needs to happen. I legit need like 2 new cutting discs to really get into that. I think we can wrap it there, fellas. Mitch Falcon, if you are listening, my lovely AI homeboy, if you can toss our socials in the chat. First off, I want to thank both of you guys for coming on and putting up with my idiocy and love of all things turtles.
It's not putting up with anything, man. This is
a pleasure. I love doing this.
Always. Very much so.
I'm just very grateful for both of you. So this is your guys' time to plug. We're going to start with our very special guest. I'm sorry, Dan. You know I love you,
Take your time. Absolutely.
But SpeekyGeeky.
Yeah, I mean, this is, first of all, thanks for having me on. This was great. This was a blast, and it was a ton of fun getting to talk turtles for as long as we got to. Like this is lifeblood, right? Mutagen lifeblood. So yeah, I mean, said I'm Mr. Geeky. I have a channel called SpeekyGeeky, and we do a lot of fun stuff over there. A lot of turtle facing themed, deep diving, imaginative projects over there. So you're into turtles, right up your alley, or right down your sewer, as it were. And we have a lot of other fun.
That sounds filthy. Don't be going down my sewer. Sorry.
A lot of voiceover stuff, a lot of like imaginative, like we just did one where it was like reimagining fabulous secret powers of the old He-Man, where
you're not wrong there, Mitch Falcon. Drainpipe would have sounded worse.
Lots of fandom facing stuff. It's reviews, news, and geeky news and interviews. So yeah, so that's it in a nutshell.
Thanks for coming on, man. And all of Mr. Geeky's Dan, where can they find you? What you got going on?
Just like our dear friend Mitch Falcon told us. Mitch Falcon was nice enough to put our socials in the chat. I'm at Bittermarks on Twitter and Instagram. You can listen to our podcast on bittermarks.com or bittermarks.lisp. I'm not our media guy. I don't even know what that website is, but it leads to our podcast. It's a wrestling podcast. You can hear me and a couple other guys complain about wrestling. We don't like super kicks. We don't like super kicks. We don't like super kicks. We don't like the any sort of the leg slapping, any sort of the new age wrestling. It's a lot of complaining about that stuff, but more so, that's every wrestling podcast. It's more so a wrestling podcast where we talk about 80s wrestling, 90s wrestling, stuff that we grew up loving wrestling. And in addition to that, we play wrestling games. We have guests on. We just re-released one of our episodes where we had Jerry Lynn on. You can check that out at bittermarks.com. And like I said, hit us up on all of our socials on Instagram and Twitter. And we are on Facebook as well. Thank you, guys.
No worries. And as always, I'm Dave Wonder, a.k.a. Diamond Dave, a.k.a. Dave Wheeler. You can call me whatever the hell you want. You can find me at all of these lovely links below. I'll be back Monday on the Foosh for Monday Foosh Live. Catch all my adventures on Instagram at the Dave Wheeler. That's where that joke came from. On Twitter at Dave Wheeler. You can find me here once a month with Dan having a lovely turtle talk. Any other time, Tuesdays, Tiny Ming Tuesdays, Wednesdays, we got Toys with the Boys where we grip and rip cardboard all night long and talk toys with some of the boys. It's a good old time. Thank you everybody in the chat for coming on and hanging out and being awesome. Mitch Falcon, thoughts on super kicks? Oh, bitter marks. I get it. Sorry.
There you go. There you go.
But yeah, thank you everybody in the chat. Bean, Mitch, Gail, Mr. Link, Sam, Ryan Clark, I know he's gone already, Crayshot, Stan, John Delana, Turbo, just everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Throw a like, throw a subscribe, throw a comment, throw a follow to all of us on here. We're all nerds. We have a lot of fun with toys and toy talk and all that fun stuff. I appreciate everybody for stopping by. I love you, you stupid old shell heads. Good night, everybody.
feel free to join the conversation in the comments below. And if you haven't already, make sure to sub up, give the video a like, and share with anyone you know who appreciates these types of videos. Also, make sure to check out the description for additional links that lead to some similar expanded content we think you'll also probably enjoy quite a bit. You realize you could have gone anywhere, and you chose to nerd out with us. And we appreciate that. So, as always, I am Mr. Geek-E, and until next we turtle speaky, keep it geeky, folks.